Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk some more about the Swiss Army salt and pepper backpacks from the 1950s, 40s, 50s, 60s. It was even used up until the 70s. We're going to talk about this version though today. Welcome back to the channel everybody. And I want to thank you for joining us today. This is part 2 of the video I've already made previously about the salt and pepper backpack from the Swiss Army, the standard issued backpack. Today we're going to discuss the mountain pack actually that was developed during the same time for the mountain troops. This pack right here, although the volume of the main pack is very similar, it's a different pack and has some different functions. So let's get right in on it. The first thing is you notice the pack, okay, it doesn't have the front pocket on it right here. But what they've done, they've added 2 side pockets to it, okay? And so with these 2 side pockets, these are water bottle pockets and ration pockets for bushcrafting. These are great pockets for, you know, carrying a Nalgene water bottle in it, carrying some of your gear you need on the outside of your pack, access to very quickly. It's got pretty much the standard top loading version of it right here. I've got it stuffed with sleeping bags because this thing right here is quite voluminous. It's quite a big pack. Now, last night I worked with it a bit, cleaned up the leather. We're going to show you today, you know, how it looks. It has a reinforced bottom, okay, all leather. Because it's reinforcement, this pack is solid. I mean, there's no getting around it how solid this pack is. I mean, and this material right here is, like I said, you can't refer to it as being canvas because this is something more than just canvas. It's not completely waterproof, but it's water resistant. Okay, and so you know it's really well made. You'd like the pack actually. Like I said, at the top you have the standard straps you have on it. You have a center strap right here, so you can attach in the bread bag like you could on the other models. Okay, so here you can attach in a bread bag, or the turtle top, what a lot of people call them, and or other gear right here. Okay, on the sides you can see that it's pretty much standard. Also, you see the cut of it right here. They're a little large up top and a little bit wider on the bottom, but not as large. Okay, the reinforcement on the sides, more attachment straps right here, attachment points for leather straps. It's kind of like that on the sides, on both sides, in fact. And on the back here, you'll see the same suspension system that you'll see on the standard rucksack, okay? You have the waist protection here. It's got a metal reinforcement on the inside. It really holds this thing stable. And on the inside of it, I'll show you a little bit later, it's got 2 reinforcement bars here on the inside. They're made out of wood. Really, really well done, actually. Little pockets in there, and they slide right inside. But here on the outside, you have this pretty much a standard attachment system for the Swiss Army pack of that time. Okay, and this one has the stamps right here of the manufacturer. Also here on the bottom, you have the same little leather plate here sewn in the same location as the other one. And this leather plate right here is where they could stamp in their name or their number, this kind of stuff. Now, after that, that's where the pack really starts changing, because this pack right here has a secret hidden component to about it, okay? And we're going to get right with that. So hidden on the top, it's not really hidden, is an opening, okay? This opening here is, it pulls out. It's got a string around it, and this can be wrapped up with the string around the top like you see here. It has the same thing on the bottom, and I'll move it around here to the bottom, with 2 extra straps, 2 extra leather straps. And here on the bottom, it has this same component to the bag here on the bottom, okay? Now, what this bag has in it, it has a sleeve that runs completely through it here. And this sleeve, this component has a specific design to it, okay? What it is that when the soldiers are in the mountains, they are skiing or they're climbing, this kind of stuff, they need to be able to have a place to carry their rifle. And what happened is the rifle would slide, would actually be entered into here and attached. I'm going to show you how that works. So what I have here is a standard, it's called, the Swiss call it the Mousqueton. It's the KL 31, I believe it's called the KL 31. It's a, at the time, their assault rifle at the time. This is a very well-made rifle. It's probably one of the best rifles I've ever seen outside of the M1 Garand. And it is super solid. Has a magazine on the bottom of it. Really, I mean, there's lots of videos you can find on YouTube. I'm not going to talk too much about it. This one here, I got it back, believe it or not, I bought it 20 years ago for 60 bucks at the Armory. They were just practically giving them away. Has a leather strap on it. It's all super solid. This one is a used one, and it's been through a little bit. It's got a little bit of use here on the bottom on the plate, but it is a super solid rifle. But anyway, I'm going to show you how this works. So it's a bit of work. Of course, this has a lot of drawbacks, but the rifle would go through this tube system, and I'll spin it around so you can have a look at it. Okay, it's going through the backpack. It's like in the area where you would have a camelback instead of a pack today, you know, a modern day pack. And it comes out the top, and of course, it's worn like it's right here, and they could carry their rifle with them. I've never seen anything else being carried inside there. I'm sure maybe you could probably put a pickaxe or something like that if you needed it. But this is how they would transport their rifle, or I guess any other assault weapons with them that they would need in the mountains. Now we're talking about the Alpine troops here. We're not talking about the guys on the, because they would be the only ones who got issued this kind of pack right here for assaults, this kind of stuff. You can find these packs all over Switzerland. Matter of fact, in the in the 80s, they came up with the green heavy material, nylon, plastified, water-resistant material. And I do have one of those packs here, and I'll show you a little bit later in another video in comparison to the standard pack issue. But I've seen these with the dual pockets here, and but I don't remember if it had the center pack pocket here, or if they had sort of figured it out that was just took too much time to sort of get your weapon in and out of it, you know. Because if this pack is completely packed, it's almost impossible to get your weapon in and out of it. So I don't know how they managed that, but I'm sure they did. But anyway, this is how it would look right here. And then on your back, of course, you'd wear it, and you'd have the weapon coming up the top, okay? So it's an interesting concept, interesting idea. Today we have similar ideas, you know, similar concepts. You have Eberlestock, who, and there's a few other companies that's come up with backpacks with a carrying system or suspension system built for transporting a rifle inside the pack. Okay, this is I guess maybe the original concept from the Swiss Army, and this was like I said, this came out of after the Tonster packs, which was the cow hide packs where you saw the cow fur on the outside of this cow skin. Those more square, these packs were. This right here is a much more alpine and user-friendly version of a backpack for the military. And even for well after that, I mean, these are highly sought after packs. These aren't super easy to find, but you can find them. This depends on the condition of them, because you gotta imagine these packs up in the mountains, people sort of stored them in their barns afterwards, you know. So they didn't turn them back in. Not all of them. I'm sure there were some that were, but a lot of them just sort of kept them. You know, the way it works here in Switzerland is that you go through your training, you're issued your gear, and you basically hold on to that for 30 years, for a long time. And then, although nowadays it's changed a little bit, you can do your service full time for 10 months, and then you just a reservist at the home where they don't mess with you anymore. They don't call you, you know, this is a serious emergency, they'd call you back in, but they still hold on to their weapons and all their gear at home. Now, it comes a time where they have to turn stuff in, and I have a funny story about that. I had a client come in the shop one day, And let me just lay this right here down. He had gotten, he was a 50-year-old man, you know, he was my age, and he had gotten a message from the Swiss Army that he owed him some money for an entrenching tool that he had never turned in. This was in Sion, actually, at the Repo, the recruit detachment in Sion. And so he wanted to buy an entrenching tool, and he had his paperwork. It's funny, with the seal number. He came in the shop. I had 1 or 2 entrenching tools for Swiss Army left. I think they were like 30 or 40 bucks. He grabbed one, looked at it, and he looked at the number, and it was his original one. He had just never turned it in, so he bought it, and he turned it in and saved himself a bunch of money. I think it was like double the price, if not more, for him to replace it. An old trenching tool from when he was serving in the 80s, you know. But anyway, good pack, good gear, solid stuff. It lasts forever. Surplus stuff usually does. It lasts a long, long time. This is quite a quirky pack when it comes to this way, you know, way it's used, how it's used, and it's a very specific pack for a specific unit, the mountain troops here in Switzerland. So, and like I said, it's from the post-World War II. And these were used up into the 80s when they were replaced by the rubberized packs and the rubberized gear that had come out. Up until then, they were still using leather pouches to carry ammunition for the KL-31s and this kind of stuff. Anyway, thank you again for coming and listening to me and watching my videos. I really appreciate it. Sorry we're indoors today, but the weather's been atrocious outside. Raining all the time. I don't mind it, but my camera gear does. So I really appreciate you coming in, doing this video inside my office here. But I'd appreciate it if you could like my video, subscribe, leave a comment, share, and continue watching them. Continue supporting my channel. I really appreciate it. And I want to thank all of you for coming and watching. And I hope you all have a good one. And we'll talk to you very soon.